I just got back into tango. I started a long time ago. I took a little hiatus and I was tired of corporate life. And I was a marketing director for a hotel company, and literally my heart was burning to come back. And you know, I love teaching people. That's the best way I can communicate is through teaching. So, and tango is my passion, as it is with all of us. So, just putting it all together, it made sense to quit everything else and come back and teach.
I started tango only a couple years ago, and I was graduating from college, and my friend said, "Oh, you're fluent in Chinese, your major was Chinese in undergrad. I'm going to China to teach tango. Come out to China with me." So I decided to go, and I started teaching, and then I came back to the States, and Adam said, "Hey, you want to help me with some classes?" And I said, "Let's go for it. This is what I love."
Fire is like passion. Think of like if we put some animals to this. We have a fish for water, yeah? We have a bird for air. What do you think we have for mud? Pig? I think there's something heavier. I think like an elephant, you know, like the flat, heavy. When you hear a song that's like this, it's so elephant to you, you won't even know.
So I took a salsa class because some girl, actually two girls in different classes in college said, it's always a girl, right? They said, hey, we need leaders in our salsa class. And so I said, the first one I said, nah, no thank you. And then the next girl said, hey, we need leaders in our salsa class. Okay, that's two girls in one day. I'm gonna check it out. So I went, and I loved it so much that that term I signed up for salsa, swing, and tango, randomly enough. And then, you know, did a lot of dances, but after 2 years, it was tango that just won over.
And then I can give it up to her, which is another way of doing this, which is actually, what I do is I relax my frame. This was taught to me by Pablo Winza. To relax your frame, to let her take the space. And this becomes her own musical moment, whatever she wants to do, so I can just kind of open up my space and let her have it. I'm not sending any particular lead at the moment.
I was really into hip-hop, and my friend was taking a tango class, my best friend, and she told me, you have to take tango. You like dancing, and it's dance, and there's really hot people in it, and you get to wear dresses all the time. And I said, I get to wear dresses all the time? I'm gonna do it.
Compared to all the other dances, the complexity of it. I danced like 25 dances. I did 12, 13, 14 years ago. And of all those dances, they were just basic. They were just memorize patterns and do these steps and move this way. And tango had so much more freedom. So it just kind of, I mean, opened up a world of possibilities. You know, it wasn't just this one solid track. So that's really what hooked me, was just the fact that I can see everything and do anything, but yet still have structure.
For me, it was the flow of information between two people. I really liked how you could totally tell where someone comes from by the way that they dance, and they can tell what kind of mood you're in or who you're about based on your dance, because we're improvising all the time and we feel that in each other's dance. And you're communicating with each other constantly, and I just don't feel that anywhere else.
Let's say, I want air over there, so here's fire. Yeah, we good? Fire? We're moving by ourselves. And we're going to move to a song. And as we get into that space, we're going to be dancing like that. So we have water, room, movement, flow. Yeah? Then we get into this new space, and we're mud. And I'm going to put on a song that has the elements in it, all four elements. But you're going to have to search a little bit for them.
We're two bodies, and we have to physically feel each other and move each other. I relate to tango in a very physical way, so I want all my students to feel the physical portion of tango and the musicality of it, that we don't have to sit there and be on a single beat, but we can play with all the instruments and be as decorative as we want to be.
I really want my students to listen. I think in everyday life we just don't listen enough. And even in our dance, a lot of times we want it to be about us. We want to show off, we want to do this cool move, but when we actually take time to slow down and listen to each other is, I think, one of the most beautiful things in the world.
So when you have a conscious leader in front of you, and he relaxes and he says, you know, mechanically take your space, and you just say,
It's because you're petrified.
of course you are. I'm saying I want you to be unpetrified. Be lubricant.
I look to make people laugh, I look to make people engage, and I look to make people feel like they walked away with at least something that they can take home with them and will never forget. So, you know, I use analogies, I use jokes, I kind of create an environment that helps them engage with me and engage with each other. So generally, I guess my philosophy is to have a good time and to be able to laugh instead of feel so depressed. You know, like, we're not getting this. I want people to feel air and feel lightened in their learning process.
With my background, I was sexually assaulted a little bit before I started tango, and I couldn't be held by a guy. It was almost impossible for me. I just didn't want to be near a guy, I didn't want to be touched. And it took a long time for me to get there. But tango is a way that women can be respected by men. And for me, I really want everyone, my philosophy is that everyone should feel good in their own bodies and learn how to feel good in their own bodies and make another person's body feel respected and loved.
I probably had the whole like tango lilt, I guess, you know, and I was also fumbly like a gawky deer, you know, that's like wobbling on his legs, trying to figure things out, trying to engage students, and I think now I'm more at peace in front of 100 people teaching them than I am anywhere else. I get results a lot better, a lot quicker than I did back then, obviously because I understand the dance after 14 years a lot more now.
When I was teaching in China, it's a completely different cultural framework that doesn't allow one to really touch or hold each other like we do here in the States. So I had to work with that, and then coming back was almost a culture shock because everybody wants to touch each other. And so I almost was overwhelmed coming back than I was going to China.
Tango has actually revolutionized my life. It's changed my life completely. Prior to tango, I was a major introvert. I just played video games and, you know, went to school. But tango, I guess, made me more interested in people. Like, I always had like maybe 2 or 3 close friends, but now I've got a lot of friends. And I connect with a lot more people. I enjoy being around others a lot more. So it just kind of opens you up to experiencing, you know, a new way of life, I guess.
So followers, feel the freedom. If you feel him relaxed, he's not taking a break. He's giving you a moment.
Tango opened up my sexuality. I mean, I was so closed off based on the assaults that I had growing up that I really needed something to make me feel good again. And tango really brought that for me in a way that would, for any person with any history, open up who they are as people and how they move their bodies. It's a much more trusting environment.
Very.
Way more. It's way more safe than anywhere else, I feel. And that's why I absolutely love tango.
I can take a beginner, if I give the beginner a lesson in 15 or 20 minutes in how to connect, I can lead them for, you know, probably 6 months worth of education almost instantly, because our bodies move naturally how we do tango. It's based on our natural walking. It's our, you know, so if we can connect, I can lead someone into ochos because it's just walking with a little twist. So it's more about the connection for me than anything. Yeah.
I just don't want the beginners to get discouraged by the number of dancers or the complexity of the dance, and to really enjoy themselves because they're working so hard on a dance that's really difficult to do with not just your body but with another body. I mean, you're adding so many layers of complexity that I just want beginners to have fun and not give up.
Okay, so we were talking about the 4 elements of tango. We were talking about air, water, mud, and fire. So first, water is our general tune. It's what we dance generally. Almost always we're dancing water.
Like in the last class, fire, water, mud, and air. I mean, the reason why I'm using things like that is because it's like a real element, a life element that you can connect yourself to. So something, a game or anything like that, it makes it easier for your brain to I guess, to work through it, you know, and then attach yourself to it and then take it away. If you're just saying words and there's no humor, no activity, no no connection with some sort of real life thing outside of the milonga or outside of the classroom, it's really hard to remember what you just learned. So games in general are a good way to connect the individual with what they're learning at that moment, yeah? And forever.
We're here to have fun.
I do see tango evolving. I read something recently that kind of scared me in the future of tango, you know, looking like 30 to 50 years out, in the sense of, you know, what's going to happen to the dance with similar to other dances. I mean, there's been other dances that have kind of fallen by the wayside. Tango had its own time of, you know, 30 years when it was gone, or I guess from from the 50s to the 80s. So there was a period where it was gone, but it could be going down that path again. So, and I see, like, even in Portland, when I started in 2000, we had hundreds of dancers, and there would be 150 people to 200 people at a milonga, all from Portland. And now we're kind of lucky to have 70 or 80, and that's only like one night. All the other nights we get like 30 or 40. So it's a little scary in that sense. I had a good friend actually say to me once, "You're a guy with 15 years of experience, yet you have the enthusiasm of a 2-year dancer." And I think taking that little hiatus from teaching and coming back into it has kind of repassioned me to want to do things that, you know, that not everybody's doing. So I'm trying to get a wider breadth to pull more people in. You know, tango used to be really about close embrace, really on the beat, really form, and now it started to open up a little bit and relax. I mean, we used to only hold this frame, and now we're kind of, okay, we can put our arm down here, we can have our arm here, it doesn't have to be here as a follow. So even just the dance itself, the structure itself is evolving, and the community at large is evolving, which is just a beautiful thing. So I want to keep moving it forward. Your follow can have freedom. You don't need to always be dictating exactly what goes on. There's a teacher from the Netherlands at one time when I was leading her into the cross, she reversed me and took me away from the cross completely. I didn't get the cross, and all of a sudden I was walking backwards. And I laughed, and it was like one of the best moments of my tango life. And it's because she kind of took a chance. She knew what she was doing, but she just was screwing with me and having a good time. So I like two things. I like when a follow can have a voice, you know? I mean, we don't always have to be talking as a leader. We can give voice to our follows. And then I do like giving voice to our follows too. There's also fun in like a he said, she said kind of concept. Tango has a lot of repetition in it. You've got bits of music that repeat itself. So you can play ta-ta-ta-ta-tan, and then the next time it happens, in 4 beats later, give it to her, ta-ta-ta-ta-tan. So let her have it by relaxing, opening up your space, and just see what she's gonna, you know, kind of create. So that's what I go for.
Yeah, they can definitely share the space and communicate when things are going to be happening. Yeah. And I mean, that's especially why I love dancing with Adam, because he will give me that time to show myself, and I like to take those opportunities. And not every league can do that, and I'm glad that the community is being more open. It's no longer this sort of man hierarchy that, you know, the follow has to do exactly what the lead is doing. It's sort of changing as the new age of women is changing in our daily lives too. It's not just in tango. So I like that women step it up, and men are respecting that women are stepping it up in their dance.